It's like when you're walking into a pool, you put your toes in, you're like, that's cold. I'm just going to wait here for a second before I take another step. And then you take another step and you think it's going to get better, but you're like, it's so cold. It's so cold. Like, and you stay there for quite some time, and then you go in more and you're cold the whole time. You are literally cold the whole time. You think just taking little baby steps in is going to do anything. It does nothing besides make it take longer. I am taking you on a journey of revival in my life and the life of others in hope that your life will be revived in the process. Hey, what is going on, guys? So we are back with another podcast episode. I am super excited to be here. I'm super excited to be back doing this because we had a little break due to traveling, due to moving. And so it is amazing and it's great to be back. Today, we're going to be talking about the key is to be all in. And why is this so important? It is important because so many times we dabble in things. We think that we're going to put one foot in. We're going to just dip our toe into the pool and, we're going to go swimming, when in reality, you just need to go and jump all the way in. There's no dabbling. There's no, tiptoeing in. You have to be all in if you're actually going to achieve success. And so that is why, being all in is what we are going to be talking about in this podcast episode. But real quick, let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. Have you wanted to make a podcast but didn't know how to get started? That was me until I found Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That is ANCHOR.FM to get started now. So many people want to start a business but don't know how. Our mission is to help you discover and live your passion by architecting a profitable business that delivers incredible value to the market and profits to you. Step one is to discover. You're going to work with a coach one-on-one to discover what has held you back until now. You're going to set new goals and explore suitable opportunities to design and finance the lifestyle you want. There's going to be 3 different avenues you can go down. The first one is direct sales and affiliate marketing, where you can get paid $30 to $3,000 per sale in commissions. The second avenue is lead generation for businesses, where you can learn how to start your own agency and deliver targeted leads to hungry businesses. You will get paid $2,500 to $5,000 per month per paying client. And the third thing is to earn 100% passive income. And you can do this by investing into a done-for-you, hands-off e-commerce store managed by us. Step 2 is commit. With the help of your coach, you can choose the path that is most aligned with what you want to do. Step 3 is train. In addition to step-by-step training inside the custom ACE Marketing sales system, you'll get personal mentorship from your sponsor and team leader, Facebook mastermind support groups, multiple live weekly calls, and live events all over the world. Step 4 is to succeed. Phase 1 is to earn revenue. Build a digital business that supplements your current income and gives you breathing room. Phase 2 is growing wealth. Create multiple streams of revenue. Transition to a full-time entrepreneur with security. And phase 3 is investment on investment. Bills paid, debt-free, and your money is making more money while you enjoy time freedom. If this interests you, go to therevivalcouple.com to get started now. You'll need to put in your name and email address to get access to your free web class now. That is TheRevivalcouple.com to get started now. All right, and so we are back, and the key is to be all in. I don't know about you guys, but I've had multiple different times where I've kind of half-heartedly done something, and every single time I half-heartedly done something, I did not get the result I was searching for. And why is that? I believe it's because I was never fully committed. And so it's hard, right? It's hard to be all in when you are not in high school anymore, when you're not in grade school. I know it's easy to try new things when you are younger because, like for sports, for instance, I've, played baseball, I played football, I played basketball, right? I played multiple different sports growing up, and I only played one season of baseball. And it was very, very challenging for me because I never actually used a bat and swung at a ball. I've never actually done that. And so actually hitting was the hardest thing I had to deal with. I had to go to multiple different batting cages. I had to get used to the ball being real close to me without flinching, without jumping back, without being scared of it. And so in that sense, it was like, hey, I'm going to try this out. And until I fully committed, until I was 100% willing to put in the work, willing to do what it took, I was not going to get the results that I was striving for, which was being able to hit the ball, get on base, to get to second base, to get to third base. I never hit a home run, but I honestly believe that that didn't happen because I didn't have enough time invested into playing baseball. And so I think we sell ourselves short on a bunch of different areas and multiple different places in our lives because we go into something and we're just dabbling in it. We're just trying to see if it works. How many of you have tried to start an online business or some type of self-employed work from home work? I know I have. I've tried it multiple different times. I've tried multi-level marketing for different companies. I've tried being an affiliate marketer for multiple different companies, and none of it worked. None of it worked for me. And why was that? If I am completely honest with myself, the reason why it didn't work was because I was never fully committed. I was thinking I was playing the lottery. I thought that if I came in, I made one blog post, and then I put some ads down, then I would be making tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars on my business. And then I was going to be able to go do whatever I wanted because that thing was going to make me money over and over and over again. Now that mentality was completely wrong. I was going into it as if I was going to buy one set of numbers and play those numbers and hope that those numbers hit. But in what I needed to do to be able to achieve success was to not worry about how much time it took, right? The first thing I did whenever I got into any business was like, okay, I'll give myself 3 to 6 months. And if I'm able to make some money off of it, then I'm going to keep doing it, right? I limited myself because I gave myself only so much time to accomplish what I was striving for. And the issue with that was that I wasn't really putting in the amount of work to achieve the things I was trying to get. And when you're not all in on building, growing, creating something, then you're only going to do a little bit at a time. You're going to have that mentality where you're thinking that you're just playing a set of numbers. You're thinking you're trying to hit the lottery, right? You're thinking, hey, if I can just get one person into my thing, then they're going to take my business where I don't have to work anymore. That is so bogus, right? I think our relationship with time is also something that is not really that good. I don't know if you guys have heard of Gary Vaynerchuk, but I listen to him all the time. He has a podcast on literally every single day. I listen to him quite frequently, and he talks about our relationship with time. I am 100% like on the same page with him. So many of us, we limit ourselves because we think we only have 1 year to create what we are creating. To be honest, I am 25 years old. If I live to be 100, I am only a fourth of the way there. I have so much time to get to what I'm striving for, but we usually put caps on what we can do because we think we need to have it done within the next 1 to 2 years. And then we don't put in the amount of work that is required to get us to the level that we want to be. Instead of searching for these monetary, the money amounts that we think are going to make us happy or going to make us proud or tell us that we're successful, instead of focusing on those monetary things, we need to focus on what we are doing on a day in, day out basis to be able to create a long lasting business. Because to be honest, branding, right? Like if you're going to create a brand, for us, it is the Revival Couple. Of course, this is the Revival Couple podcast due to that brand. If you go to our YouTube page, it's the Revival Couple. If you go to our Facebook page, it's Tobias and Victoria Johnson, and then a little dash, the Revival Couple. And the reason why it's all the same, except for Facebook, is because we want it to be a little bit more personal. If you don't know my name, if you don't know my and my wife's name, it's gonna create a little distance. And so we didn't want that. But we understood that branding is the most important thing. Does branding get you sales like this? Like snap of your finger. Does it get you sales? Not as much as actually going out and selling stuff. If you want to create more sales, do sales. But if you want a long-lasting business, then it requires you to create a brand. People have to know you. More eyes have to be on you. And if more eyes are going to be on you, it can't be an overnight success. I mean, it could. If you go on TikTok and you go viral, yes, it could. But 90% of people don't have that happen. What happens is people post so many items and so many things that eventually one of their content, that they make goes viral. And then once that happens, they get a ton of eyes on them. Now, once those eyes are on them on TikTok, they're able to say, hey, now go check out my page on YouTube. Go check out my Instagram page. Go check out my Facebook page. Like, that is where the actual success comes in. But it starts with being all in. So that is why we're talking about that today. So I'm going to go into a little bit of a story to just kind of tell you what it means or what it looks like to be all in. So when I first got started with the business, that I'm doing right now, we've been doing this for the past 2 years. And has it gone as well as we wanted? No, but it has gone pretty well. I would say our mindset has changed a lot, and the opportunities that it has opened up for us is a lot. And right now, I have the most amount of time to capitalize on being a full-time entrepreneur and getting things done. Now, it requires me to have some type of dedication, to have passion about what I'm doing, and to be excited about what I'm doing. I believe that if we are not excited, if we are not passionate about the things that we are doing, it's going to be harder for us to do. There's going to be a lot of friction, it's not going to be easy to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish in our business because there are all these things that are stopping us. There's no flow. You aren't going as smoothly as you would like. And so when I first got started, I got involved as an affiliate marketer. And what that means is you are literally just selling a product, um, a physical product to people, or a like membership to people, where there's a monthly fee that comes out and you make a commission based upon how many people sign up for that service, that product or service. And so I got started, did not know anything. Of course, I dabbled around in an MLM prior, like right when I hit 18. I feel like that's mostly when a lot of people get started into at least an MLM, multi-level marketing business, because you're told that you can be the top dude. You can be the person who's making the most money, and you could be 21 and completely jobless and completely time free, which who doesn't want that? Maybe if you're a natural good employee, then you don't want it, but most people that I know want to go out and do whatever they want every single day, especially if you're young and you just started working and you realize how much work sucks. You usually want to create something more. And so I did that a little bit. And then I went with another company that did a little bit of affiliate marketing, but they did it more towards blogging and creating pages, and then trying to get people to your page. And then once people get to your page, then you sell them stuff. I never actually sold anything. I barely even set up a page. I literally consumed so many items. There were so many training videos, hundreds to thousands. I consumed all of it, but I did nothing. I didn't take any actions, and therefore I didn't really get any results. That was me dabbling in it. I wasn't all in. And then finally I got to the company where I'm at now, which the reason why was because I was so frustrated. I was so upset because my wife and we just got married. We moved from Oregon to Florida. Of course, I already lived in Florida, was in the military, and she moved down. And then the team that I was on didn't travel at all. And when I get back, they're like, hey, we're going to move you onto this team that travels half of every month. And so it felt like my wife and my relationship was just broken apart. We were torn apart. We were on two different pages. And so I felt this emptiness in my gut, right? This emptiness, and it actually made me nauseous. I just did not feel good about where I was at. I was like, well, how come now that I am married to the woman of my dreams, right? Now I don't even get to spend any time with her. All my time is spent away from her in multiple different countries. Of course, I'm not traveling, I'm working, so I'm dead tired, I'm exhausted. And then I come home for 3 days and I say, oh, hey, how's it going? And talk to my wife about like actual stuff we need to take care of, bills, our finances, our budgets, and like where we're at and what we're doing. And then I'm off, I'm gone, I'm on the road again. And so it just felt like I was spending all my time away from the person I loved, and spent all my time doing something that I did not enjoy. And so enough was enough. I needed to find some type of business or some type of way to be able to make enough money to replace what I'm doing, so that I didn't have to be in the military for the rest of my life. Like, yes, the retirement's good. Yes, the constant paycheck is good. Yes, the tax-free money for housing is amazing. I cannot stress that enough. They take care of you. They do, but there is a big demand of time that they require from you, which means, you're going to spend a lot of alone time, or at least a lot of time away from, your family, away from your kids, away from your spouse, and away from doing the things that you want to do. If you want to go on vacations, they have to approve them, and sometimes they do get denied. So there's just a lot of stuff that was not aligned with what I wanted to do. And it just caused like this nauseousness, this unsettling feeling that was inside me. And I just felt like I needed to do something more. I knew I was called to be able to accomplish so much more, but I needed to do something more. The thing that actually would bring happiness to me would be to be producing music and to, be able to have a business that allowed me time to be able to produce music. Because I don't know about you, but producing music full time, it does not start off making a whole lot of money unless you automatically make a Grammy album. Then you can start charging more, but usually it takes years and years to be able to get to that level. And when I'm used to making $80,000 to $100,000 a year, of course, the military, it doesn't look like you're making that much, but with the medical and dental benefits, with the housing allowance that is tax-free, with going overseas and getting tax-free money, it equates to right around $80,000 to $120,000 a year. And a lot of people will be, I only make $28,000 in the military. They're lying to you because they make a lot more. They may not realize it, but I've worked multiple jobs prior to going into the military, and you make quite a bit, especially since you don't have to pay any money towards your health insurance. The military covers you, your family, and there's no deductibles or anything for the most part, depending on your plan and all that. But with that being said, I realized that I needed to find something else. I got started with this company, and they had training. You did not need to know anything. You didn't have to, have prior experience. They taught you from a basic level where you could learn something, you could take action, you could learn something, you could take action. What did I do? I ended up learning something and not taking action because I wanted to dabble in it. I wanted to try and see whether it was going to work or not. That is completely backwards when it comes to creating a business, when it comes to doing something that is going to provide you a way out of your traditional employee, work. We're so used to going into a job, whether we are excellent or we're just average or we're lower than average, we get paid at an hourly rate. Now, that's hard for us to fathom, that when you go into a business, you are going to create, build some more, and you're not going to get any results. It's going to take you months and months before you start getting in, this routine that is going to allow more and more leads to come in, that is going to bring you more and more sales at the end of the day. And so I was just dabbling around, and it took me about 8 to 10 months to even start doing things consistently. And so I did that, and what happened? I didn't get the results. Of course, I did have a couple people sign up. I did get a couple sales, but I wasn't serious, I had those couple people come in, but I wasn't doing anything on a consistent basis because I was not all in. I was testing the waters. And what did this leave me with? This left me regretting not being able to take action, because I saw all the people around me who literally started after I started, or started when I started, and they were getting $2,500 a month. They were making $10,000. It's like, oh, they made $20,000 in sales. And it's frustrating, right? It's frustrating to know that I am not good enough, that I am the person who is lacking. And I had to evaluate myself. I had to be honest with myself and look deep into what I was doing wrong so that I could ultimately turn it around and start creating something that was going to provide a way out. I understood at that moment, from evaluating, from looking, from seeing that things weren't being done as other people were doing it, that I had a problem. And that problem was being being tiptoeing around. I was just testing the waters. It's like when you're walking into a pool, you put your toes in, you're like, that's cold. I'm just going to wait here for a second before I take another step. And then you take another step and you think it's going to get better, but you're like, it's so cold. It's so cold. Like, and you stay there for quite some time, and then you go in more and you're cold the whole time. You are literally cold the whole time. You think just taking little baby steps in is going to do anything. It does nothing besides make it take longer. And in the same sense, in my business, like in me going into business and being an affiliate marketer, I was doing the same thing. I was taking one little step and I was like, getting shocked because it was so cold, and then taking another step and be like, it's so cold, getting shocked and not moving fast. And so since I was dabbling in, I was like, do I really want to go all the way in? Do I want to dunk my head in? I don't think I'm ready yet. I lost the amount of income that I could have made at the beginning. You are literally never going to succeed if you do not jump fully in. You feel cold right away. It's like the breath kind of gets knocked out of you. You're a little shocked for a second, and ultimately you feel like you need to keep going to be able to get to the place that you want to get. Here, I'm going to take this back a little bit. When you jump in, you get in, you feel the shock, you're cold, and then it's not that bad. Now you're able to swim. Now you're able to flow. Now you're able to do the things that you need to do because you're committed. You're fully committed to doing whatever it takes to accomplish more in your business. When you're tiptoeing, you're just going in a little bit at a time. You're not committed. You're seeing if it's going to work. You're doing one thing and hoping for that one thing to allow you to blow up and go viral and to make all this money. What you do day in and day out is what is actually going to create that success in your business, in your life, in your relationships. It all depends on the actions that you take. But how can you take these actions if you are not committed, if you are not all in? That's the question I have for you. Take a moment, think about that. How am I going to be an entrepreneur if I am not fully committed to doing what it takes to get the results I'm striving for? I think about this all the time. What if I fail? What if I fail, Tobias? Well, if you fail, you're going to learn from those failures. You're going to get back up. And you're going to figure out a way that doesn't have you, that is not a failing method. It's not that you failed 10,000 times. It's that you figured out 10,000 ways that didn't work. So that now when you do that 10,000 in one way, it may work. We need to stop being scared to jump in. Because when you jump in and you're fully committed, the people around you know that you are committed. The people around you feel your energy, and they understand that you're in this for the long haul. You don't care if it takes 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, you are going to do all that it takes to get to the place that you are striving for. Why? Is because you're committed. Why? It's because you're all in. The key is to be all in. Once you are all in, you will finally start achieving so much more. You won't feel that friction because you're like, I don't know if I really want to pay more money to promote my thing, because if I promote my thing and I lose money, then things are going to go bad. No, it's not. You just paid money to figure out that this thing or this way of promoting it is not going to be a winning strategy. So what do? You adjust. You move from that way of doing things into a new way of doing things that may be a winning way. Once you are committed, you understand that it is not a one-time thing. It is not hey, I'm going to drop some money down, and if that money works, then I'm going to keep going. If that money doesn't work, then whatever, I'm going to get my refund. I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to do something else. When you are fully committed, you're not going to be looking for 1,000 different ways to make money online. You're just not. Because you understand that the avenue, that the tools that you have now are able to get you to the level you need to go. The thing that may not be working is you. But when you're all in, you understand that you have to improve, that you have to do personal development, that you have to get better. And as you learn ways that don't work, you will grow. You will constantly achieve more. You will constantly be able to learn more and learn what doesn't work, but ultimately learn what does work. Your failures are not the thing that is going to not allow you to succeed. Those things are actually going to push you more towards success, as I've said in the previous podcast that I've made. You're going to fail forward. There's nothing that is going to stop you from achieving what you want to achieve when you are all in. Guys, this is going to end this podcast. I hope you took something away from it. And I hope if you are like at the point where you're like, I really want to start this business, but I just don't, I don't want to fail. I don't want to not succeed. I don't want to, go in and then have everyone laugh at me because I did not make it. Close the door behind you, put some earmuffs on. Don't listen to them saying that you're not going to make it, because all the successful people have others, their families, their closest friends tell them, wow, you're never going to make it. Like, good luck. You're trying to do all these things, but you're never going to make it. Like, whatever, dude. But they didn't let those things stop them. Why? Is because they knew that they had something good. They knew that they were able to create something through this avenue, through acting, through music, through affiliate marketing, through whatever channel it is. But the first step they had to take was to commit and to understand that they had to be all in. All right, guys, if you like this podcast episode, drop a like down below. If you think someone else will find value from it, share it, because it makes me smile like I am right now. As always, let's go out there. Let's revive our lives together. Let's get it done. And until the next podcast episode, have a good one.